Hello, today I'd like to talk about one of my favorite movies. It's not exactly a horror movie, but it definitely has some clever horror elements. So the movie is Predator, and I have a nasty habit of buying things multiple times, and so I actually have the Predator three times. DVD, Blu-ray, which I guess I never got around to watching, and then Blu-ray 3D, because they did some weird post-process 3D thing, which turned out okay. Not the most compelling 3D, but still, I like the added depth. But the interesting thing about Predator is sort of the way they set it up, and it has some really great like action scenes, but they have some clever things. Like for example, everyone is like super badass. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger and a bunch of super badass military guys, and there's like I guess maybe he's supposed to be a Native American. I don't know, Billy, but he's like super badass, and everyone's super badass, and Jesse the Body Ventura, and well, they have this great cast, but then the interesting thing is they get scared. I think over the course of the film, like I think they're like, Billy, oh, you ain't scared of no man. It's like this ain't no man. Which I think actually that sort of thing works well for horror. So I've often complained, that excuse me, that I don't know, Chris Redfield, in the latest Resident Evil has muscles on top of muscles, and he's just like this super, Gears of War football player, caricature person of, a strong man. But I think if they added in the depth of him getting scared, that might make for more compelling horror, although you would need something more threatening, something so threatening that he would get scared. And that's the great thing about the Predator, is they really set up the Predator as something you should be scared of. I mean, he keeps killing all these, badass soldiers, and killed all these different people, and mutilated their corpses and took trophies and stuff. And another thing is, I kind of like the idea that the characters don't really know what they're getting into. They're they think they're battling, I guess, other like commando rebel terrorist guys, long before they realize that they're fighting something alien, something powerful, something that doesn't play by their rules. And I think that's sort of an interesting dynamic, because it's almost letting the audience in on a little secret. We know what's really going on, but they don't, and I think that builds tension, because I always try and quote Alfred Hitchcock, and there's one, about crap, I can't really remember. You have to show the murder weapon before it's being used, and then they know it's there, and they know it'll come into play, and so you're sort of waiting to see how it's going to work into the plot. And so I think that sort of thing, you're sort of on your edge of your seat, because you're wondering, how is this, how are they going to react to the alien, how are they going to defeat it. And so but then the cast is totally clueless, and so I don't know. I thought it was an interesting dynamic, and I mean, it's a very 80s movie, but I think they did a really good job with the horror aspects of it. And I think another interesting thing to note is that it's one of the few horror movies that takes place almost exclusively at day. So I guess there's like two nighttime scenes. I think, but most of it is during the day, and I think that's a tough thing to pull off. I think, things are scarier at night, and you don't see what's around the corner. But I think creating that tension during the day is admirable, and I'm not quite sure what they do that makes it work so well, but I think that they definitely did a good job for that. So if you haven't seen The Predator, I'd definitely recommend it. I mean, it has Arnold Schwarzenegger, alien monsters fighting, and what more could you ask for? But I think if you go and rewatch it, or if you've never seen it, I think you should definitely keep an eye out for the horror, because I think there's definitely some smart things in the film that we can learn from. So, thanks for watching.